I want to care so badly.
I think you care. I
care enough to do the bare minimum.
Yeah, well, that's all.
That's what I mean. Is when people do less than me, it's upsetting because I'm like, I literally am doing the bare minimum and admitting to it.
Dude, when someone does less than me, I'm like, are you really, man?
I'm like, I put fabric on before I walk into a door.
You're doing less than me?
That's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm just not actively against it.
A lady crept up on me at Safeway the other week. No. Stood like right over my shoulder. And I was
stickers on the floor, dog. It's so easy.
I know. And then I moved up to the next sticker. And then she followed me, and she wasn't wearing a mask, and I was like, Jesus Christ, am I gonna? I was like, is she about to have a meltdown? And I was like, could you back up? And she's like, what? And then she started coughing, man.
You're like, you are gonna die of this.
You're not taking this thing seriously.
I wanna lick people like that in the face.
I want to lick them in the face.
I don't know.
I mean, well,
because I don't know if you have heard everything, and you're like, well, I'm the demographic who probably is most likely to be affected by this, and then you just like, I'm gonna go to the grocery store and touch all the apples.
Yeah.
I got sure.
I'm gonna go to the grocery store and burp the alphabet.
Yeah,
right in the produce section.
Me too. Let's hang out. Come to my house. Let's go, lady.
Our last podcast.
I'll make it through this.
Our last podcast got COVID. That's sort of what happened.
What?
Our last podcast, scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs didn't get COVID.
It sort of did. It was
no one had COVID. No. You can't say that.
But the podcast fell victim to COVID-19 in a way.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it was a guest-based podcast and you weren't allowed to talk to people anymore.
Yeah, you couldn't bring people into a room at all.
No.
I wasn't about that Skype life.
No, it's not the same. It's weird because it's like someone says something and you're like, ha ha ha, and then they hear your laugh 5 seconds later and they go, ha ha ha, and meanwhile you're already saying something else, and it's not a good look, man.
Yeah. You also can't peer pressure your guests into getting high via Skype.
That's true. That's true. You can suggest they do it.
Yeah, but they're never going to do it on their own unless if you hand them a joint. Most times they'll be like, "All right, I'll take one." But if they're just at their own house and now you're like, "Well, now you're sober. This is going to be a weird podcast."
Yeah, I don't know if we come across as friendly in a little square box on a computer. I think.
Yeah, most of my charm is the twinkle in my eye, I've been told.
Yeah, and you don't get that on the you don't get that on those cameras, man.
No, did you watch any of the COVID sports?
I did, man, and I'm sort of sad now cuz it's like a lull. There's like way less now, and it's like, I guess you're a football guy, so it's not really
prime.
But for a while there was good sports every night of the week, which is cool.
Like last week
after having none for a long time.
Was it 2 weeks ago? There was one night where it was like, I saw some tweet, so I wouldn't even have known this if it wasn't for the internet, but it was like, there was like the PGA Tour, the WNBA, the like tennis thing, NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, MLB, NFL, and something else, like all on the same night. It was like like the UFC or some shit. There was like all on like it was the best.
Yeah, and after just like having nothing for so long. There's been some good UFCs. There's
What do you think hockey's going to do?
I think they're starting again in December. Was like the agreement that they came to is I think, but I also heard maybe into the new year. And then they'll try to get their season, they'll try to get it back on schedule over the next couple of years, I would guess.
Because that's what I mean. Like, are they just going to end? They're going to start in December and end when they would end normally in like whenever that is, June, May?
I think they would have to still end a bit later.
So they'd end
unless they pack the schedule, maybe.
Well, because otherwise, what do? They end in August and they start up in October again.
Man.
Like what? Like how do you?
Yeah.
Fix it. Like it's going to take years.
It's going to take a while, man. There's a few sports maybe that are. Football was delayed too, though, wasn't it?
No.
Football's the only one that's on. Okay.
Started the day it was supposed to. We missed the preseason, which I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, preseason.
I cannot thank you enough, NFL, for not having a preseason in the year 2020. Thank you, Lord. Ugh.
Yeah, because it sucks. Because it's just a chance for people to get hurt, and it's all people who might or might not make teams.
Dude, some podcast, I forget who I was listening to. It was COVID. I've been listening to everything I've been so bored.
Yeah, I got you.
But someone was talking about how they should just do it like the NBA does their like summer camp, where it's just like rookies and fourth liners just like fight it out to see.
Yeah.
And they said they should do it. I forget who it was, but someone was saying like they should do it as like a round robin type deal. So it's like pre-draft, like just all the free agents, all the.
That'd be so sick.
Like so.
Basically
funny.
like an off-season program.
Yeah, and it's just a 4-week. Like whoever captains make teams or whatever. Like,
yeah. Ooh, that would be sick.
Yeah, it'd be so cool.
It's been nice to have sports back though. Mm-hmm. It sucked obviously that the Oilers bowed out so early. I was trying to win that 50-50, man. I wanted to.
How many?
Oh man, I was into that 50-50. Alberta just launched a gambling site too. It's like, whoa, they're trying to take my money.
Like, how many of those dollars were from a check from Justin Trudeau, do you think?
Oh, dude.
How many CERB dollars were in that 50-50 draw?
Half of those dollars went to charity. So thank you very much.
That's so funny.
That's a good point, though.
Okay, hold on. We have to explain. I feel like we have to explain this to...
Maybe. That's probably true.
I don't know who's listening.
That's true. We probably have a wide audience by this point in the podcast.
This is our very first episode.
By this point in the very first episode, I imagine we've picked up a few listeners.
Yeah.
So the Edmonton Oilers got permission to do an online 50-50 at Oilers games. It usually gets up to like the person winning gets like 60, 70,000.
Well, I remember this is the thing. Alberta just loves to gamble,
loves 50-50.
50-50 specifically.
Loves 50-50.
Even, this is like an old...
Arm's length for $10? Give me 2.
I've heard hilarious things in like small towns when you go do like road comedy.
Yeah.
Where they talk about I forget what the fuck it's called, but it's called like cow pie bingo or some shit like that. And it's literally exactly what it sounds like. They just have a floor with numbers on it, and a cow walks around, and whatever number it takes a shit on, that whoever bet on that takes money.
Oh my God.
I swear to everything that this is real. They also do like meat draws. Meat draws are huge.
Oh, I've heard it. Yeah.
Dude, I have a bit on my album if you want to go listen to it. I'm not going to do the whole bit, but it's about
Talking Reckless.
Oh God. Don't go listen to it.
By Alex
please.
Foran.
Don't. But anyway, the chicken, they auctioned off a live chicken and they loved it. They went nuts for it in Saskatchewan. And they love doing like 50-50s and like Keno in BC. Like, I don't know what it is about gambling in Western Canada, but it's like the
50-50. See, with the 50-50
it's the funniest
thing,
way.
Yeah. But it was like in a way, you think it's like better than so you had to be in Alberta to buy tickets.
Yeah. And so, my whole point of this is I went to a Battle of Alberta game, the Eskimos versus the Stampeders.
Yeah.
And it was like one of the best games of the season, but somehow the 50-50 like wasn't claimed the week before, and it was like $75,000 already. So everyone came for the 50-50.
I came for the 50-50 that game.
Yeah, it made like $310,000.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, and it was one of the best CFL games I've ever watched in my whole life.
I stood in line, never got a ticket.
Yeah, but I heard people talking about that by me. And I just literally moved up and like sat really close to the field and watched the game.
But people love 50-50s, myself included. Because it's like you feel like it's like good odds or something. Yeah. And really, like if you're someone who buys lottery tickets, if all of a sudden the pool is just people in Alberta, those are better odds, And like, anyways,
there's no lottery that's paying you half of what they're making. Like, there's
no. But so basically, what started as like people coming home with like 60, 70,000. Once they got onto the internet, it became they broke the system. We broke the system. It ended. I think the top one was $7 million. I think, and the take home was maybe half of that.
What?
Oh yeah, dude.
Bro, last time I saw it, it was like $400,000.
Oh, are you kidding me? It got into the millions after the Oilers only played 4 games.
Oh my God. I thought game 1 was like the max.
No. They weren't expecting that many tickets to be sold, so the system just stopped taking tickets.
Oh.
And then the next game, everyone's like, you fucking better get ready. And they're like, we got the servers, man. We got 2 more servers, and they probably said some words like the motherboards and with the X drives on it. And then the game started, and they fucking shit the bed again. And
some dude named Carl was like, "Buddy, you only got 2?"
Yeah, that thing got a Hemi, man. Fuck. But it became this crazy. The one game, there were so many people trying to buy, and they had already doubled their capacity or whatever. But the system got so messed up that people got like double, triple, quadruple charged. And so they had to delay it for about 2-3 weeks, maybe. They delayed the draw for weeks after the Oilers were eliminated.
So could you keep buying while it was delayed?
No. It was closed. But
that would have been way smarter. They got so much more money for the
Oh my God, it would have
been.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like, a lot of money went to charity from it, and that's why they should keep doing it. They opened it back up for the Stanley Cup final. They let us bet again.
And how did we do? How many money did we make that time?
I did not win any this whole time.
No, not you
but I had
specifically.
fun.
How many was the?
It was definitely jackpot was definitely in the 100,000s, if not more.
And still just Alberta, hey? That's so fucking funny. They weren't even in it. Like, this was just people who were like, I can't go to the VLTs because of COVID.
Dude, people who are like, it's in that building right there, but I'm not allowed in.
That's so funny.
This sucks.
What do you think happened? Do you think they popped the bubble as soon as they won the game? Were they like, now hookers?
Oh, well.
Or do you think they stayed in the bubble overnight?
You don't think they were getting in before?
No, did you hear about the Seattle Seahawks player, the rookie?
No.
There's a Seattle Seahawks rookie who got cut because he tried to sneak his girlfriend into the facility disguised in Seahawks player gear. Like full pads.
Come on.
His girlfriend in full pads. He was a rookie, bro. Got cut. And everyone's like, we're not signing that.
That makes me think of like Scary Movie or one of those things where like one of the Wayans brothers has like his girl wear all the football gear and stuff, and it turns out maybe he's not heterosexual because he's like, Brandon, and she's like, what? And he's like, what? Nothing.
What? Nothing. That's so funny,
man.
Yeah, dude. So that was fun. Can you imagine? Whew. Like what?
I wish there was
bad
more
idea.
50-50s. Give me that,
dude. Oh, the NFL has been so fun. This has been my favorite year of football ever. Cam Newton went to the New England Patriots, which I could not be happier about.
Been seeing that, yeah. Are you still a Cam Newton fan?
Yeah. Here's the funny.
Obviously, big Panther, big Carolina guy here.
Carolina Panthers guy.
Obviously, because of his connections to Carolina.
Clearly, you can tell by all of how I like it. Kinda. I went there one time. Jay Cole's from there. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
They have a cool blue theme.
Mm-hmm.
Good
color
NC
scheme
State and the Hornets and the Panthers all color schemed, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
I like that they did that.
Oh,
they all were like, "We'll use the same guy." It's a little nod, but nowhere else really does it.
Yeah. So it's been fun.
Yeah.
You've been enjoying yourself?
Well, not because Carolina's been doing very poorly. Teddy Bridgewater is not good.
He's not Cam Newton.
He's definitely not Cam Newton, as you can tell by their stats. And, if you watch him.
You don't like Tom Brady, though.
I hate Tom Brady.
So talk about it. What's going through your mind?
Talk about it. I
just want to tell the people out there that I saw some fairly, hey, we're friends, but this is getting a little testy football debates on a couple Facebook threads.
I love it.
I was just sitting there reading like, one of them's mad. I don't know which one it is. They're both kind of mad.
You know which one.
Quoting stats at each other.
No, I just like it because people give this like random, like greatest of all time card to Tom Brady for the fact that he won Super Bowls. And I tend to believe that a whole team wins a Super Bowl and not simply a quarterback. Because otherwise, Joe Flacco is better than Dan Marino, and that's a crazy thing to say.
Yep, that's right. It's just like the Stanley Cup. It only weighs, 15 pounds, but it takes 30 people to lift it.
Yeah, exactly. Like Patty Roy is probably one of the greatest goaltenders of all time. Not even close to the most cups.
No.
It's some idiot.
It's another Montreal guy.
Yeah, some guy who played for like 16 years for Montreal when they went on that spree for no reason.
So not the Pocket Rocket?
No. It's a goal. Like it's some goaltender. It was like he was like 16 years with the Montreal Canadiens when they went on that like big run.
Imagine being a pro athlete that's still alive now that was like the best back then and made nothing, and watching just like the league minimum being like 500,000 and being like, I didn't make 500,000 in my entire career.
You're like, what? Why is Odell Beckham crying?
Why?
Yeah, man. But I don't know. I just think Tom Brady, the first game, I liked it because it was fun to say this on Facebook because Tom Brady lost the first week and Cam Newton won. So I was just like, thank you. You can all apologize now. I've been proven right. That's
the thread I was talking about, I think, where I saw a lot of people getting a little heated.
Because it's funny to say that because I know people will get mad because
it's almost like you're trolling them.
Almost. But it's also funny because I actually am extremely justified in what I'm saying because I truly believe it also.
Yeah.
I do truly believe that Cam Newton is a better quarterback than Tom Brady, and people are very upset that I believe that.
Well, Cam Newton's got a long time to he's got a full career to play out before he could really compare their career stats with each other.
I mean, people always talk about that like Cam Newton's new still. He like literally had the best rookie career season of any quarterback ever. He had more yards and touchdowns.
I'm not saying he's new, but like you can't like when you put their numbers up to each other, they're not gonna look the same. But once he's played the same number of years, you're saying his numbers will look better, and hopefully they do.
Well, he already literally, and it's so funny because people argue with me about this because the like specific terminology of it. But when it comes to actual like quarterbacking stats, like when it comes to like position statistics at quarterbacks, Cam Newton already has more records than Tom Brady.
Really?
Yeah, because he has a bunch of rushing records. He has a bunch of quarterback rushing records. He has he has more rushing touchdowns than Bo Jackson and O.J. Simpson.
Damn.
He's got 62 now, I think.
O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
He killed it.
But yeah, so he's like one of the greatest. He is like statistically the greatest Russian quarterback of all time.
Yeah, and I said Russian. I was like, damn.
yeah, he's like Fedorov.
Comrade Newton.
He's the Fedorov of the
NFL. God damn, Cam Newton's Russian? Shit. They're colluding in the NFL. They're colluding in the NFL, man. Trying to influence the Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah, Vladimir Putin got his hands. That's why he's in New England. Him and Belichick have been linking up. All right. But that was such a specific joke. No one's going to get that unless they're super into football.
Did you see Belichick showing up to a press conference recently where he looked like, I think someone described it as he looked like he'd been like beaten up by a raccoon or something. He just was wearing, he always wears like these cut off sweaters, but it was like full of holes. Hair all over the place. Like
he looked tired.
He looked like he woke up in a bush and then went to the press conference.
But he lost. Like that's he doesn't lose very often, and I think that's just what happens when he loses. He doesn't sleep or eat for a few days.
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
Have you seen the interviews with this kid?
No.
Oh my God, they're the best. He has a mullet. First of all,
nice.
He looks like Bill Belichick, but with a mullet and younger.
I'm trying to picture that.
Just Google his son. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And he's literally exactly like Bill Belichick. The guy's like, so do you like coaching with your father? And then like Bill Jr., I assume his name is.
Probably.
I don't actually know it, but I assume it is that. Yeah.
Probably a good chance.
So he was like, yeah, it's an honor to work with my father. And then he was like, do you have any favorite moments working with your dad out here on the football field? And he's like, yep. and the guy's like, do you want to share them? And he's like, I don't know. There's lots. I think that's just going to be between me and my dad.
That's so funny, man.
It's like,
as someone who's interviewed a lot of people over my life, like I used to be a journalist and stuff, and it's always so rough when you come up against that person. Hey, do you have any, favorite moments with your dad? Yup.
Sure do.
Would you like to tell us that? No, I don't think so. Oh, okay.
It always reminds me of Talladega Nights where he's like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
One of the cool things I got to do at one point was I was guest hosting Inside Sports on 6:30 Ched one night, and I got to interview Nuge while he was still playing junior hockey, and I had a list of questions that I was going to ask him, and I was like, this is going to be a good interview. And he gave me one-word answers for every single question I had. So I got through about 15 questions in like 45 seconds.
Oh, that's so funny.
You're looking forward to the draft? Yep. All right. Okay. How's hockey going now? Good.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big transition jumping to the NHL. What do you make of that? Yeah, it's going to be tough. Just got to work hard.
I love that. I love that can be your like attitude, and then as long as you produce,
but he's a kid though at this point. He's like 17, right?
That's the other thing. We really expect a lot out of these
yeah.
children.
I just remember sitting there being like, I don't know what else to ask, man. Yeah. What color are your shoes?
Yeah. What color are your shoes?
White. Oh, okay.
Social situations are hard though. I can't imagine like what they have to go through. Like,
yeah.
Oh, some of those I don't like.
Despite getting through that brutal interview with me, he went on to do great things.
That's good. Good.
So, that's a testament to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins right there. Yep.
All right. So we've done sports for about most of this podcast.
Yeah. So you're not doing Sober October this year?
No, we're hitting November.
You were a big Sober October. Oh, I guess, yeah. You were a big Sober October guy last year, but you're just moving it to
I wasn't a big Sober October guy.
You're like a Rogan dude.
I just did Sober October.
I don't know if this is real or not, but I saw a text from Joe Rogan to, what's his nuts? Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. And he's like, you guys want to do Sober October? And Segura's like, hell no. And Bert Kreischer's like, haha, I'm drinking right now. So yeah, they're not doing it.
Yeah.
But that's cool that you're still doing it.
I'm doing it in November. Me and my buddies just talked about it, and we were like, well, it's a good thing to do. It is nice to be sober for a month. You feel good. And it's nice to know that you can do it just mentally. Be like, oh, cool, I can put down the fucking ganj and the beer for a month.
I thought you said gun. Wow, it's good to know that, for 1 month at least I can put down the gun. Jesus Christ, Alex. Holy shit. Do you want to talk about it?
Why do you keep misunderstanding?
I don't know, man. But you keep mumbling, troubling shit. Under your breath, you're saying some wild shit. I was thinking of doing something different for Sober October, though, and trying to try to let alcohol ruin my life for a month.
Put the gun down.
Yeah. So I was going to try and abuse alcohol for a month. Just to see what that's like for...
Yeah, well, I figured last year I was really good for October, so this year I'm going to be really bad for October.
Yeah, you guys took it to another level last year. You guys had fitness portions to it and
Yeah, those guys...
I don't know. The long and hard guys.
Yeah, I just agreed to a bet. That's all. And I really like winning things.
Yeah.
I hate not winning.
Yeah. I'm never going to refer to them as the long and hard guys again after that one I just did.
That's how I refer to most
the guys who are on the Long and Hard podcast.
Whenever people are like, who did I see you with the other day? I'm like, oh, the long and hard guys.
Yeah.
It's just usually whoever I'm with. Is a guy who's hard and long.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Did you have to get a COVID test at all yet?
Nope.
I haven't had to do one either.
I have not. I've got the tracker and I have to fucking sanitize and I get heat checked every day when I go to work. And
really?
Yeah, I have to do all that stuff.
I just have to wear a mask at work.
Yeah, I have to do.
And only when I'm walking around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
you're at your desk.
I'm just at a desk, yeah.
People are so dumb. I love it. I had a guy say to me, he was like, oh, I fucking saw this thing on the internet where it was like, wearing a mask at a restaurant and taking it off the table is like having a pissing section in a pool.
Oh my, that's exactly what it's like. That's exactly what it's like because if you didn't have masks on, there would be piss everywhere. Yeah. That's the dumbest. Like that as like a comparison is just not even. But it now it doesn't have to be even close. It just has to sound like words.
Yeah. It's so I'm like, what?
And they get to be like, see?
Yeah, you're like, what, you think it floats around?
Yeah.
I don't.
And, to a degree, but okay, so should we shut restaurants? fuck no, man. Don't let him shut us down. Okay, well, should we allow people inside? Yeah. Okay, well, they have to wear a mask. That sucks. Like, okay, well, maybe you should skip the dish for now.
Skip the dish for a minute.
Skip the D.
I don't know, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's fine. Like
Trump got it. That's nice.
Bad.
I don't know.
I heard Trump got it. Yeah.
It's a rumor. Rumor has it.
Well, rumor has it it's not that serious.
Rumor has it.
Rumor has it that...
What? Okay, where are you getting your rumors from? Because my rumors say it is serious.
I thought him.
Oh, what did he say?
I don't know. I feel like he's been sort of downplaying it a little bit.
All I heard, listen, my phone went out of commish for 2 days.
Oh, he's been off the grid.
Yeah.
He's only had Messenger, which is basically off the grid.
Yeah.
He only in Wi-Fi zones could this man
only in my living room and only when I was looking at it.
Damn. Damn. It's weird though when you don't have your phone. Like I was walking around at lunch today with two of my friends, and someone behind us was like, "Oh, your phone," to someone in front of us, but all three of us like tapped where our phones were. Just because like it was like, oh shit, is it? All of our hearts sped up. We're just like, oh, I fucking need my phone, man. All of us almost turned around to be like, wait, is it? But none of us were holding our phones at that time. So it's like,
that's fun.
I think we're hooked.
Anyways, yeah. So my original point.
Okay, let's go back to that.
I didn't have my phone for 2 days, so I didn't know what was going on. So all I had was my roommate telling me what he was reading, and so
that must have been an interesting conversation.
It was very fun. But so what I learned is that Trump got the COVID, and then he got sent via military helicopter to a military hospital.
That's right.
Where he has taken an experimental COVID drug.
A cocktail of drugs.
Ooh.
A cocktail of drugs.
I
liked it they throw that onto like a mixture of drugs. Like, what should we call this? I don't know. I like highballs. No, we can't call it highballs, dude. What about cocktail? Like, that's a fucking, yeah. So he's taking an experimental cocktail.
I can't believe casually they're like, yeah, the leader of the United States of America is taking a cocktail of drugs this afternoon.
Yeah. But everything's fine.
Like,
yeah, don't be alarmed. Things are cool. It's not, hey.
If anyone wants to read a history book, feel free to do it soon.
Okay.
Just like look up the 1930s-ish portion. Late 30s-ish portion.
Right.
Keywords: cocktail of drugs.
Yeah.
Impeachment.
Yep. Well, that's my favorite part is like he, in the lead up to that first, not to get too deep into U.S. politics here, but in the lead up to that first debate, he's like, he's on performance enhancing drugs. It's like, performance enhancing drugs. Come on, man. Apparently they meant Adderall, and it's like, okay.
That's what me and my friends...
We're supposed to believe that he's not on anything?
That's what me and my friends call pot, because it enhances our comedy performances.
Yeah.
It's a performance-enhancing drug, and if anyone wants to tell me otherwise, they can go fuck themselves.
Shoot, it's a life-enhancing drug.
But yeah, and also performances.
And also enhances
stand-up
performance.
Comedy performances.
I'm just going to look at the thing here. We can just keep going, though. Look at the thing here.
I've been having fun. It's been a while. We can release it in multiple episodes. We can release it in sports and politics and whatever else we feel like talking about.
And people that are just listening on the audio, this is just one big ass segment. This is all for you guys. We didn't just pause and restart the camera or whatever.
You get a
this
to
is
Z.
Just us.
Sports, news, weather. Weather's been fun.
Yep.
Hey, how about them hurricanes?
Oh my God, the weather is so different than seasonal or average.
There's been so many fires.
I don't think we explained to anyone that the show is now called All Day Breakfast because it's a
morning show.
It's a morning show, but whenever whenever you're listening to us, this is what we're doing.
But we intended it to be for bacon and eggs time, so you screwed up.
Yeah.
But you're welcome to, because we called it for whenever. So it's your mistake, but make mistakes.
Now that you know, listen to episode 2 in the morning.
Yeah. Or whenever.
Or whenever your morning is.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
Because these days, it's tough to know whose morning is what.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what I've heard. So in weather, as we were saying.
Bro, did you hear about the baby shower one? That's the baby gender reveal party?
That caused the wildfires?
Yeah.
Man, I can't. That happened here too, the year after the Fort McMurray wildfires. There was a smaller one set off because someone up north set off a gender reveal. It's like, come on.
How? What are you doing?
Yeah. Plus, it should just be a neutral color anyways because it's up to the child.
I just don't care that
it's
much.
It's like a weird.
Cares.
Yeah.
Dude, when did people start caring?
I wonder what the history of the gender reveal party is, because
when did it start?
For a long time, you just wouldn't have known, anyways, right?
Oh,
it would have been like a gender. This is what it is party.
Fuck! I don't want to. Oh, my phone's in the kitchen, anyways. All right, I just have to tell this story. Like,
tell the story, man.
Not 2020. We were at a baby shower. And then they were like doing like little games where you can like win baskets and prizes and stuff. It was for my friend Maddie's baby, little William.
Nice.
And this is before anyone knew what the gender was or any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. It was just she was pregnant. Mm-hmm. Oopsies. And so.
Oopsies.
So.
That was an all-day breakfast certified oopsies moment brought to you by Corona.
Corona beer. Extra.
Anyways, go on.
So they had this little game. They did all these little games. Like you have to fucking do whatever they do at baby showers.
Yeah.
Who is it, mom or dad that spends more money on their hair products or whatever?
Yeah. Fun games.
And then, one of them was, what do you think the baby is going to look like? And they gave us a white plate and like they just had Play-Doh out. And so everyone was doing like, okay, mom has green eyes, so the baby's going to have green eyes. And then they'd make like it kind of look like a girl with long blonde hair or whatever.
Oh, man.
And I took pink and purple and I made a little fetus and a pink umbilical cord that like came in from like outside and then like just in the corner like a shrivelly little like baby thing in the corner.
Oh my God.
And it was like my friend and her like fiance and like her parents and like
dude.
And they voted mine the winner. I won. Nice. I won the bottle of wine.
Nice. I was gonna say that's such a like white person thing, like a white like that's like doing like a play. But then your part of it is like that's a Alberta white person thing.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's good,
man. People do a lot of crazy stuff in the lead up to stuff like a baby.
Yeah,
like those types of parties
or cause wildfires apparently.
Yeah. Can you imagine growing up and just being like, so tell me about like when you guys were like getting ready to, bring me into the world. Don't start a conception. Tell me like.
Don't start a conception. What kind of weird, like, are these people raising Stewie from Family Guy?
It's 2020 now. Who knows what the future holds as far as like weirdness. I feel like the stuff that we probably thought was super weird when we were kids probably they get through that at like 3 now is what I feel like. But yeah, imagine being that kid and like learning that like 20 years ago, like maybe your parents would shield you from that for like your younger life, being like, we're the people who fucking did the gender reveal thing and lit the whole state on fire.
Well, you'd have to explain to your kid why you were poor as fuck.
No, you don't.
I guess kids don't know.
Yeah, listen, kid, can you work? No, you can't. but you're like finding out that like, oh man, when they revealed my gender to my parents' friends and family, it started a enormous wildfire.
That's an expensive baby.
Do you think it's a sign of something?
No.
I know, right? I don't know, man.
I read one of my favorite quotes. This is cool. Sometimes I like to pretend like I'm smart, and then people call me out on it.
Okay.
And so then I have to
when you say Tom Brady's the worst quarter.
No, not that at all. Not that. I say like I like science stuff, and then people buy me a book, and then I have to read it and then understand it and talk to them about it, because otherwise it looks like I was lying or being an asshole.
Yep. True.
So I'm reading this book called A Short History on Everything by Bill Bryson. Turns out, great book. It's really cool.
I've read that twice, man.
Phenomenal, right?
I love it. Yeah.
But bro, he has this one quote that I read like yesterday or a couple days ago. I have it at work. It's super fun. We talked about that.
It's a great book. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's one quote where he's like talking about how this guy used to joke about how he would just be like, oh my God, you'll never guess what I saw on the way to work today. And then he'd just say like some random license plate that he saw. He'd be like, license plate ACD 268. He's like, of all the million license plates, can you imagine that specific one is the one I drive behind today?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's literally how stupid you sound when you're like, oh my God, my mother died. And then I was driving behind a vehicle.
Yeah.
And the vehicle's license plate said Emily. And that was my mother's name. And I knew in that moment she was speaking to me.
I like not to shit on people who are grieving, but when they're like, when I found a coin on the ground and I thought that meant that they, as like, okay. If it helps, you get through, that's great. Not, this podcast just devolved into us shitting on the grieving.
I mean, what's it like? Grieving, for just anyone who puts meaning into like the most ridiculous.
I know. I mean, like this, and this are because of this, and you can tell because I like touched this bottle 3 times before.
Bro, it was like you're saying, allegedly, this was, again, I haven't had my phone. I didn't know about this, but Trump has recently said that his hair is good because of McDonald's fries.
Yeah, someone said something about like, there was like a study that McDonald's fries like to stop you from going bald. And someone told him that, and he was like, well, that's why I have great hair. Might have been him being funny, but he famously eats fast food because he's worried that the chefs will poison him. He's worried about getting poisoned, so he eats fast food. Excuse me?
Which is not poison at all.
No. Like when he he's so fond of it that when he brings people over like winning teams and shit, he's like, here you go. Here's a hamburger. Here's a small fries.
Oh, dude, that was the best. What I love this presidency has been. Let me tell you. Okay, all right. Let's go into. I had so many segments in my head I wanted to go into.
Let's go into breaking news. Alex Fortin with the latest on. I don't know.
No, I wanted to do this. I don't know. Like old pop culture stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I think George Carlin is a great one to start out with.
That'd be cool.
And I think that he always had this view of being like an observer and watching the world that I've listened to him talk about a whole bunch during this quarantine. And
yes. It's
a very fun mindset to be in right now. And just be like, can I just take a second, look back and be like, what, if I didn't live here, what is happening? If I didn't live on Earth, like, let's just take a look at this from like an outside perspective, and take a look from like Boris Johnson being like, "Nah, we're out of the EU," to like,
and then being like, "We're gonna have to break international law to make this work," and the EU being like, "No, you can't. We're gonna fucking sue you." So that's a disaster.
Yeah, and then like,
it's getting hot in here.
All of this crazy just coronavirus obviously breaking and going across the whole world, and then Miami not shutting down, and then Trump getting sick, and then all this stuff. If you just look at it as like a third party, you're like, this is so crazy.
It's the type of stuff where you think, well, this would never have happened. If you like took an episode of like what's happened in the last 6 months and showed it to someone 10 years ago, it would like play off as like a really good like satirical take on what politics would look like if it devolved to the lowest common denominator. But we're living it.
Bro, I literally had this conversation with my mom today because she tries not to get too involved, I guess, is her excuse. I don't know.
But I make sure and get her involved sometimes.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, Mom. But I was like, oh, did you hear about Trump? And then she was like, no, what? And I was like, okay, if you were watching a movie and you were like 10 minutes in and you went, I know the ending. I'm like, what would it be? And then my mom went, did he get corona? And I was like, yeah, 100% he got corona.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like the plot to a bad movie.
Well, people were saying, like, it's actually really impressive that it took as long as it did because his whole team shunned masks and his whole, like, they didn't really follow the protocols, or all of them at least. Yeah. So it's like, wow, like, you actually didn't get it till now? That's crazy.
Apparently he hit the campaign trail once also after finding out that he had corona.
Oh.
Or after showing symptoms or something like that.
That's dope. Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yeah, it's a really interesting time to be alive. And like, even if you can try it as hard as you can to sit back and try to be just an observer of it, it's like, wow, like things are really bad.
The beautiful part about being an observer is that you can look at that, but then you can also go look over at the other side and be like, oh, you guys wasted the opportunity to do anything with this.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything good over there. You didn't do the right things. You didn't set yourselves up for success.
You're like, wow, everybody's winging it. Yeah, literally everyone in the world, including everyone, all of the leaders of the world, are all winging it, and we're all just hoping the world's flat at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I
don't like the mainstreamness of conspiracy theories now. That bothers me.
I know.
It's
that was another thing I wanted to talk about. The alien thing.
What?
The U.S. government admitting the UFOs of like extraterrestrial origin exist.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I think like a little while ago they released the footage of like Air Force guys being like, what is that?
Yeah, and then like capturing it.
And just sort of like admitting for the first time. They're like, but I mean, to think that the opposite of that is true, that there's nothing else out there is like,
yeah, but it's crazy that the government was like, we know that
I know, it's crazy.
Crafts that
it's
are
crazy that we're at a point where it's like, okay, listen.
You want to hear my conspiracy theory?
Hit me.
Okay. This is a combination of like Alex Jones crazy level conspiracy theory.
That's funny because I was going to say that about what it might be.
And also like real confirmed science.
Oh boy.
And like other things. Okay. So
this ought to be good. This segment is brought to you by Pampers. Don't shit yourself.
But don't shit yourself.
Back to you, Alex.
Oh, this is so much. Okay. So,
we're getting into some good stuff here.
So there's this weird. So Bob Lazar is the first like thing that made me think of this. I've mentioned him before on our old podcast a bunch of times. He was on the Rogan thing and he had a Netflix thing.
He's a man who's sort of being proved right, I would imagine, right now.
Yeah, it really feels like a lot of things that he was saying are being proven right. But one of the things that he kept saying was he was talking about like antimatter or anti-gravity. I forget what the fuck it was.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially the way he kind of explained it and the way that it all makes sense is there's a way to use like antimatter to bend space-time. So instead of you traveling at like faster than the speed of light, you actually just move everything out of the way between you and the place you want to be.
Wow.
And you can like use antimatter to like do that.
Mm-hmm.
And now if you look at like a lot of the leading theoretical physicists, they believe that is true.
Oh yeah?
They're just kind of like, yeah, definitely like antimatter.
And that's a theory that he came up with? Or
No, not that he came up with, but he said that's what they were trying to figure out. Like that's what he was hired to try and figure out was how the aliens were doing it.
Right. Because he's a guy who was hired and then kind of went rogue.
Yeah. And they tried to like erase him from the records. And then went on to
Rogan.
Yeah.
And then they tried to erase him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that guy must be feeling a bit of vindication for sure.
I think
but he's probably like...
But he's also so sad about what happened to his life.
Sad and paranoid and worried that it's probably just like... They're going to say, just fucking kidding.
And then kill him.
Yeah. They're going to be like, we're gonna Pluto your ass, dude.
But it was interesting because a short history on everything, Bill Bryson's book, talks about. It's interesting because it was printed in like 2004, so it's 16 years old now.
Yeah,
and science has like caught up to some of the questions that he like leaves some of the chapters on.
See, I read it way back and then read it again over the past year and noticed that too. There's areas where it's like, oh, I've read
Yeah, like the Higgs boson stuff and like supersymmetry and like all the string theory things, like all that stuff in like the first half of the book. I think it's like whatever, the first
That's
quarter.
Such a good book.
Yeah, it's extremely interesting. But he's talking about like the distance between space, and he's talking about there's like I forget what it's called, but it's like galactic drift or some shit like that. It's like how every other galaxy is moving away from our galaxy and also accelerating. The further away things are, the faster they're accelerating away from us. And that's like a constant throughout the entire universe. And they're kind of figuring it out. And then there was a part about Einstein's biggest blunder where he talks about, what is it called? Oh my God.
I always thought Einstein only had that one good theory.
E equals MC squared.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, that was
the rest of his stuff was pretty average. I only liked some of his work.
But yeah, no, he had this fucking
his one single.
But it turns out he was right in the end, and then that is like the number that he gave is like the representation of like dark matter, and so there's actually like a force in the universe that is like anti-gravity that we're learning to harness. So anyways, my whole big thing, you can look up like US patents for like military grade, and basically they're from, I think you can find some from like 2010 or some shit, and they're like theoretical on like what you would have to do to create this thing. And you can find the science basically saying that we've done what this paper said we would have to do in order to make this thing. And then you're like, oh, they created either something that uses anti-gravity or antimatter or whatever the fuck to drive, or as a weapon. It's one or the other.
Oh, shit.
That's what they've done. I assume that's what my COVID crazy conspiracy research has done for me.
Okay, and it's nothing related to COVID?
No.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be a COVID related conspiracy.
No. That's what I looked up while I was on COVID.
Okay, it was a COVID fueled conspiracy.
Yes. There's a bunch of these. Damn. I've looked up this I've done so many conspiracy researches.
Yeah, because you were on CERB, right, or no?
Briefly, yeah. I did the
briefly Serbian.
First 3 months. Whenever we were in, like, it was literally illegal for restaurants to be open.
Yeah.
And then
were you like pumped to get off CERB, like to get back working?
Yeah. I don't know if I was pumped, but I was definitely like
ready to make some more money than $2,000 a month.
Yeah, that, and also just like I was eager to like stop getting handouts. I think I just don't like sitting on my ass and being paid money. So I was just like, well, at least I can go to work now.
Yeah. So now you're working like real grown up, like 40-hour weeks.
Yeah. Well, essentially I went,
Is that the first time in your like working life that you've been working like that sort of standard schedule? One summer. I did one summer, man.
I worked at Mr. Lube, which is funny because that's what I'm doing again now, except I'm at different lube shop. I'm not going to say it because I don't know if they want to be associated with the things that I've said.
Wow, that's probably fair.
I said that aliens and like warp drives are real like 1 second ago, so I don't know if I should say my place.
So how do you feel working as a full timer? A couple weeks, maybe a month or so in, or whatever you're at.
A little less than a month. I don't know. The other thing is like I still am doing comedy, and they've been really accommodating with that, which is why I went back. This is what I did when I was in high school.
Nice.
And so it was like the same thing. Like I know that this business is kind of similar to the service industry, where they're like, we don't mind having part-time workers and we can kind of work around your schedule. Right. It's, we're open for 12 hours a day. So you can come work a 5-hour shift in the morning if you have to go to a show or whatever. Like they've been really, really, really nice about my hours.
Nice.
So I knew that that's kind of the industry. And so I went in, and on my resume, it said, I'm a comedian and whatever. I explained kind of the boat I was in with the pandemic and all that jazz. So yeah, they just were like, here you go.
Sweet, man.
So I went to Lethbridge, whatever, a couple weeks ago, and then I had a weekend at the comic strip, so I took time off for that.
Sweet.
But it's been probably, the last like 2 months, there's been probably 4 weeks or 3 weeks where I've worked 40 or more hours.
Man.
And I'm like, what the?
That must be tough, dude.
It's so hard.
You get used to it.
Do it.
You get used to it.
No, here's the thing is I can't do the things that I love anymore. That's the problem that I've noticed. You can't, because before I had like, it was whatever, I would work somewhere between 0 and 30 hours a week. And then the rest of the time I'd be doing comedy.
Yeah.
But that means in the rest of my time, I could, clean my house or whatever. And then I also had spare time to whatever, go snowboarding or work on cars or exercise or rollerblade or skateboard or watch comedy or listen to podcasts or read blogs or whatever.
Yeah.
But I worked 50 hours a couple weeks ago, and it was literally like I had time to work 50 hours, make my lunches, drive to and from work, take showers, and sleep. Like,
yeah.
I didn't get to do anything that I wanted to do. For a whole week, I didn't do a single thing that I actually genuinely wanted to do.
Yeah.
And like, it was the saddest I've been in so long. I was like broken. I was like, this blows, dude.
Yeah, man.
And then I bought some really good weed yesterday, and I've been in a great mood.
Nice.
Or like 2 days ago.
Nice. That's great. Yeah, weed's great. I like
only the right ones. Weed has made me sad before too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I found a nice sativa that I like.
Weed's just a nice lift things off my shoulders kind of thing.
Yeah.
I was on the medicinal train I stopped it because you can just now get it at the stores, obviously, but
it's easier.
It's fun, man.
Yeah.
It's good that it's a thing.
Heavy indicas make me sad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
More of a sativa guy.
I like a nice light sativa.
But I also
11 to 12% or just
if you threw, a couple in front of me, I couldn't tell you the difference. That's why I find the weed stores a little maybe overwhelming is not the right word, but it's like you go in there and it's just like I just want some good weed.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you want this and this, and like do you want that and that, and like how about this? Well, here's like all the different ones, and you're like,
here's the thing.
Sativa, highest THC, please.
It could, yeah. Just know what you want. It could be placebo effect, but if you figure out what you think you would like, and then you go ask for it, and you smoke it, and you're searching for it, you'll find it, and then that's nice.
I just mean for my whole career prior to this,
I guess
it was just like
problem.
It's just like you get what you get. It's like, hey, this is good shit. Oh, I heard this is good shit. Sweet. Nice. That's all I have. There's a name on it, but it's written in marker on the Ziploc bag, so I can't really,
I've only bought from the
That's right.
store.
So have I.
I actually only have. Now you're making me
seem
like a liar because you're just saying it after you just described not.
I've bought books that contain, I don't know.
I didn't. I've paid friends for weed. Here's what happened. Justin Trudeau was like, I've been elected. I'm not going to do electoral reform, but I am going to do weed. And I was like, you dick. Hey, man, can I buy some weed?
Yeah.
And that's how I started smoking weed.
Well, hey, I'm just saying the stores. I wish they would make this to just tone the stores down a little bit. Yeah. Like some places they got the menu up on the wall, so you like right above where the cashier is. So it's like walking up.
Find a good store.
I know, but it's like it's like walking up to like a fast food where you're like, oh, I think I might get A&W. And like, hi, what would you like? And you're like, oh fuck, I haven't even looked at the, and there's pressure now, and you go, fuck, can I just have? Do you have any good shit? Yeah, I just go to the places where you can say stuff like that. There's like two. But if you say, give me some good shit, they'll say, hey, I have this really expensive. I've got
local
all this.
Shout outs. Let's do some fucking local weed store shout outs. All right. New Leaf Cannabis on Ellerslie Road and like 91st-ish.
Does Deep South.
Yeah. And then another one Deep South, Made in Cannabis. That's like way even more south. Like,
remember those guys?
Like Roper and
like
south
very
of Ellerslie.
Quite south.
Like
quite south.
Mad south. Basically Beaumont.
Yeah. When you're coming up from Calgary, find your way.
I like them though; they're really nice, and they always have good weed. Actually, he like makes sure to buy. It's funny. He like gets mad if his weed isn't dank enough.
Yeah, that's right.
He smokes his own. He gets high on his own supply.
Well, you're not supposed to do that, but that's in an unlicensed market. In a licensed market, I think it's fine because everything's accounted for.
Exactly.
So. Get high on your own supply. But pay for it.
If you're a owner of a store.
if you're a legal owner of a store that's selling weed legally.
And then there's a Spirit Leaf on
Spirit Leaf is nice.
99th Street, between 99th Street and Calgary Trail on 63rd Ave, I believe. Okay. By like Sentinel Storage and Union Hall.
Union Hall. Jeez, great.
Yeah, they have cool people. I just walked in there the other day. And I was like, hi, I would like a lot of weed that's like kind of a good price. And then she was like, would you like an indica or a sativa? I was like, I would like a sativa. And then she was like, here's 2 options. Here's the prices on them. And I was like, that's dope. And I'll take this one. And she was like, okay, perfect. And then she was like, would you like or she's like, do you want a bag to make it more discreet? I was like, no, I don't care if people know that I'm smoking weed. And she was like, all right, sick, later.
Nice. Some of them you go in and
no pressure.
Like,
no,
yeah. Well, sometimes it's just like
mad.
I don't know what you have, and there's the menu on the on a TV, and it changes. So you're like, I think I'll have for fuck's sake, and they have this gigantic space that they want you to go peruse around, and it's like, just where's the list, man?
This is the problem with your generation.
No, I like Nova down here, Pneumo Cannabis as well.
Yeah, Pneumo.
Nova on Jasper and like 122 or something. There's cool people that work there. I go there all the time.
Nice.
Pneumo's cool.
My mom said something funny today. She said she was talking about Rainbow Cannabis, like down the street. Oh, and she was like, yeah, I look out my window and she's like, I know, because she lives in like I don't know how to say this politically correct. Okay. She lives in an ethnic neighborhood.
Okay.
And so she's like, whenever I see a white person walk by, I always know they're going to the weed store. That's funny. And I was like, that's so the opposite of what you would have said like 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
But she's like, yeah, every time, because it's like some hipster white guy walks by her house. She's like, you're not from this neighborhood. You're just coming from the rich neighborhood up the road to go to the weed store.
Yeah. There's some, I don't know. There's some good ones and some bad ones. I won't say the bad ones. I'll say them after the. Sign up for our Patreon to hear which weed stores I hate.
Oh, that'd be so good. Let's do that. Let's do anti-ads on our Patreon. Let's
go.
Anti-ads,
yes. Okay. Let's hold people hostage.
All right, we've got 3 20-minute episodes. Hey, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Let's see. No, I don't think so, man. Oh, I don't know. I was gonna tell you about getting a haircut the other day where I had to wear a mask. I've never had a haircut with a mask on before. I got so much fucking hair inside my mask, dude. It was so gross.
Trying to like get it out of your nose is like having a cat
Well,
allergy.
I just like tried to like really not breathe very much until I could like. She like went to get something. I like took it off and shook it out. I was like, we need to figure this out. We need to figure out a system here. Like, you have a mask. I don't need to wear one. Like, she like took it off, held it like that to like buzz. It was weird, man. It's like
so
the weirdest like mask interaction that I've had so far, where I just got a lot of little hair inside my mask. When I finally took it off, I was like, it was disgusting.
Gross.
But I mean, it's the price you pay, man.
Safety first. All right, I have to pee. Classic.
All right,
send her out.
All right, okay, that's our episode finished. Alex is going to pee. That's yeah. No, this has been all day breakfast, whatever time of day it is. Where you are, it's breakfast here. So come back next week. We're released on some day during the week. We haven't determined that yet. I'm Jim Kerr. That's Alex Fortin. He's peeing right now. Follow us at YEG Podcast. We're gonna post some stuff there. Bye.